listening to Reignite, a podcast about joining a demonic blood cult. I mean, the Wardens. I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt, aka Stormageddon.
Now that we've met the king and Duncan has more or less left us to our own devices, it's time to explore Ostagar camp and get up to some shenanigans. We meet some other recruits, as well as the newest warden, Alistair. We journey to the wilds, meet some witches, attend a war meeting, get voluntold to handle lighting a beacon, and discover a great betrayal. Also, we almost died, but it's fine.
Just a typical day in the life of a warden.
Yep.
Or so we assume, since this is literally all we know now.
I mean, it's typical for us.
Yeah, that's true.
So, therefore, not wrong.
Also, not in the summary, but we meet a good boy as well.
Yes, we do. We do meet a good dog. We were going to talk about it.
It's true.
It didn't need to be in the summary because we're going to talk about it.
Fair enough, but I'm just saying. It's important. Good boys are always important.
Ever since Storm got a dog.
You look, I'm just saying.
It's dog this, dog that, puppy over here, puppy over there.
In my defense, he is very adorable.
This is true. And I love dogs. I am obsessed with dogs. I saw 3 great fluffy dogs today.
What a great day for you.
It was so good. And 2 of them were big size and 1 was little.
Were they all together?
Yes, they were together.
That's great.
So the little one looked like the child of the 2 big ones.
Amazing.
But it was definitely just a Pomeranian and the 2 big ones were chows, and it was so funny to me.
That is pretty funny.
Anyway, that was Frankie's dog hour. We are going to move on.
Yes. So we are finally off and running to figure out what this life as warden is. And as Frankie said in the summary, it's pretty much Duncan's like, all right, we're here. See you later. Bye. And
go find Alistair, meet some other people. I'll be over there when you're ready. When you're ready to figure out if you're ready to join a blood cult.
Yeah, though we don't know the blood cult bit quite yet. And one of the first things you can do is you can run into, in one of the open areas, who we assume is Alistair being yelled at by a mage for something he's done wrong.
So for real, I did not go talk to Alistair right away.
Really?
I was like, there's so much going on. I went and I talked to Kaylin's guard.
Yeah.
To learn more about Kaylin.
Oh, I did that, yeah.
And I also talked to Logain's guard, and I thought about it, but I didn't. I was like, I could really trick this guy into getting Logain for me so I could meet him. I was like, no, I wouldn't do that.
No.
I could.
Not. Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that. But we find out that Kaylin is obsessed with the Wardens, and something that I really appreciate that you see throughout the camp is that there are a lot of women incorporated. Even Logain's second in command, we learn, is a woman.
Yep.
I also learned that the quartermaster sucks and that he treats elves terribly.
Correct.
I am not an elf, so I get spared, but I want to fight this guy. We meet some Ash warriors. They actually specialize in fighting with Mabari.
Yep. We
do meet a good boy who is having a really hard time. He got some dark spawn blood in him, and he's not doing well. So he needs to be muzzled and to be given some medicine.
And we seem like a good soul, and so he asks if we'll help muzzle him, otherwise he'll have to put him down. And so we do, and then he has a further request, because of course there's always more, right. And asks us to get a herb, because there's a fucking H in it, to help heal the dog.
You're a herb. I'm sorry.
And so we can take that quest on, and when we go to the wilds in a little bit, we are able to get that herb for this Mabari.
I meet with Wynn. I don't know if you found Wynn.
I sure did.
I find it really interesting that, being from the circle, I haven't met her before.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that, because for me, it's she asks how much I know about magic, and I pretty much go, nada, lady. I'm a dwarf. We don't dabble in magic. We don't even know.
Fuck with that shit.
Pretty much, yeah. And so
we know better. We have stone sense.
But I wondered if your meeting would be different because you're a mage as well.
Yeah. She's really intense.
Yes.
But we apparently had not met, and she commented on my remarkable self-confidence, and I'm just like, okay. Whatever.
Easy there, Mom.
Yeah. Let's see. There is a Chant of Light Darkspawn lesson, and my favorite line out of that, which doesn't like bode ill or anything about this religion. Our own evil causes human suffering.
Uh-huh.
Okay, as a person with like trauma surrounding organized religion, can you tell that I hate the chantry?
A little bit, yeah.
Like, fuck the chantry. Fuck everything about it. I met Jory and Davith.
So did I. They are interesting.
Davith hits on me.
Surprising. And by surprising, I mean not surprising.
Yeah, he's a rogue. He didn't expect me to be a woman. Apparently, there are not a lot of women in the Grey Wardens, which I find to be fucked up.
Yeah.
Someone asked me if I'll accept the Maker's blessing, and even though, like, fuck organized religion, in my opinion, like, I respect that other people find comfort and solace in it. So, like, it's best to be polite to the household gods. So I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Sure. I don't ruffle any feathers.
Did you do the prisoner quest?
If you mean by do it, complete it, no. Because when he asked me, I said no.
Why didn't you help this man?
Because he was like, I'll get you treasure if you help me. I have a key. And I'm like, I don't know. This
He
sounds
absolutely
fishy.
does not.
Yes, he does. He says, I'll give you a key to a chest if you help me.
I did not get that option.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, what's up? What's your deal? And he was like, well, I like tried to dessert and that sucks, but they basically have forgotten that I exist and I'm starving to death. And I would like to not, if that's okay. I would like some food and water, like basic human decency.
He seemed more shifty to me. I don't know. I didn't trust him, so I didn't help him.
That's so weird. Are we talking about the same guy?
Yeah, there's only one prisoner in a cage that you can talk to, as far as I know, that you can get a quest from.
I wonder if like it was different for you because you're a dwarf.
Might be. Could be.
Like maybe he was like, I gotta appeal to his dwarven sensibilities, and dwarves only like treasure, and he's basically a racist.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. This is only my second time playing through the game, and I don't know that I encountered him my first time with my first Dwarven playthrough.
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
Because when I approached him, he was just like, I would just like to not starve to death. Can you please ask my guard to spare some food? Can you please do that for me? That would be nice. So I did, because I'm like, well, it sucks that you tried to desert and like, whatever. But you deserve some basic human decency.
For sure. I get that.
I did that. I also hate not being a rogue. I hate it so much.
Because you couldn't open half the chests in the camp.
I can't open any of the chests! Any of them! And I'm just like, this is how I die, because there's something important in this chest that I can't get into.
If you get to run around the camp with Davin, then you could have Davin open it.
Davith isn't high enough level.
Oh. I was able to open all the chests.
Yeah, because you're a rogue and you put your stats where they're supposed to be, unlike an NPC who knows fuck all about where their stats should be.
Fair enough.
Like, come on, Matt. So angry.
Clearly.
Anyway, now I can talk about Alistair.
So we can encounter Alistair trying to relay a message from the Great Mother? The Revered Mother. And this mage is like, fuck you and the Revered Mother. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And
buddy.
And Alistair just kind of feels bad. He's like, it was just a message. I'm sorry.
Like, I feel bad for Alistair because he gets roped into this shit because he used to be a Templar. So his very, like, presence is kind of a threat to mages.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you used to be the guy that was responsible for killing us. So, like, that's great. That's a real great first impression to have on mages. And, like, that's not his choice.
No.
Like, he left the Templars for a reason. And just the fact that he has this, like, stigma about him and that he's being used for that, so unfair to him. When he comes on screen, fucking Careless Whisper starts playing in my head, and then, like...
He is very dreamy.
And I'm just like, oh, it's my golden retriever boyfriend. Oh my god, I love you. I'm gonna have such a hard time choosing between him and Zevran.
It's funny, like, I've only played once, and I went straight for Liliana because of my attachment to Liliana in Inquisition, which I finished first.
And also because you like redheads.
I mean, that's true as well. But I don't know. I'm really jiving with Alistair's attitude. Also, as we've discussed during the Mass Effect seasons, I am kind of over a lot of shit and like more irritable these days, and so his like sarcastic attitude jives with me in a better way
Oh
than
yeah.
it would have before.
Like, I love Alistair because he makes me laugh.
Yeah, he's genuinely funny. Which,
And like we can banter back and forth, and I love banter.
Oh, I know.
So like, let's do this. Excuse me. I wrote Duncan has eyes everywhere, and I don't know why.
Maybe because he always knows what you're doing when you talk to him. I don't know.
Maybe.
But after we talk to Alistair, and we find out what the hubbub was all about, he joins us and he runs around the camp with us as we can do as we please. I did some of the stuff that we just talked about after recruiting, finger quotes. I love that he's like, well, that business is done, but we should go see Duncan. Why don't you lead the way? Like, they just throw that line in, so it makes sense why Alistair is following around this new recruit instead of the other way around. Which I think is pretty funny.
And I also like the idea that Alistair's like, I'm not in a rush. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. But from here we go talk to Duncan, and we find out a little bit more about what we need to do the ritual. Well, not what the ritual is quite yet. We need to get 3 vials of Darkspawn blood for each of the recruits, as well as receive lost treaties that were lost to a now defunct warden base in the wilds. These treaties are important because they're magically sealed. They can only be opened.
But they have nothing to do with the ritual.
They do have nothing to do with the ritual, but are still part of our test to come back.
Yeah.
And they are required for us to rally the nations around us to help fight the Darkspawn. They're magically sealed, so they're probably untouched. They are just lost in the wilds, and he requests that we bring them back. Conveniently magically sealed, so no one can open them except us.
Yeah, that's how magic works, bud. How
do I know? I don't know that. I'm a stupid dwarf. I don't know shit about magic.
Aw, don't be mean about dwarves.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm saying I am a stupid dwarf. I'm just making fun of me.
Your personal dwarf is stupid, but dwarves on a whole
I've got
very intelligent people.
It's true. I've got good golden retriever energy, but, smart choices, not necessarily my forte. But so after this, we were able to head off to the Kokori Wilds, and there's lots of combat. Playing this game on PC a second time now, I've really come around to the combat, especially as a ranged character now. Like, being able to kind of just click on targets while Alistair runs in is really satisfying. The archery class doesn't really get a lot of attacks. It's mostly buffs, auras, and other like things to pin them, things to like slow them down, which is fine. I just kind of click on an enemy and just like take a nap while everyone else beats on them. But it's worked pretty well. I haven't died yet. And enemies have only turned on me once. I'll talk about it later when we talk about the boss fight in the tower, but I almost got killed. A rogue crit or two, and you're in big trouble sometimes with certain enemies. But the combat's fine. I mean, I really like it. It is interesting that this is so turn-based, and then the next 2 games are all action-based. Like, they're not really turn-based at all. It's just active combat. And I'd be curious why that pivot, right? Like, I mean, you can still do the strategy stuff. You can still pause the battlefield, but it's more like click to attack constantly, whereas this, you click and then you auto attack. And so those changes are always curious to me.
I feel like in 2, and this could be incorrect, someone can correct me. I feel like in 2, that is a setting you turn on and off the auto attack.
Okay. It might be. I don't remember, to be honest.
I don't remember.
We'll find out when we get there.
What'd you do with the dying soldier?
I helped him. I healed him.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Did you bandage him up and send him back?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That's what I did too.
This is one of those moments, like in the way to Morden in Mass Effect, like, you'd have to be a real dick to not help this person.
Yeah.
Like, especially here, because at least it's a Batarian who's shitty to you the entire conversation until you help him. But like here,
this is just a guy, just a fellow soldier who got attacked by Darkspawn, and it's supposed to be our job to fight Darkspawn, so we should help him. I wish there was like some kind of like repercussion for that.
It's just a choice. As far as I know, we never hear from him again, one way or the other. So, like,
maybe he was tainted, and like by helping him get back, we actually like caused a huge problem. Like, it was one of those missions where it's like, I mean, yeah, here's some bandages, man. Like, go ahead, live your
Yeah.
life.
I don't even think we lose any consumables for helping him. It's just a choice.
No,
So
I
like
don't think so.
it's very strange.
What throughout this mission were your thoughts on Sir Jory?
I mean, he seems kind of like selfish and a little bit like he joined because he thought there was glory in it. But like when it comes down to actually doing anything, we're more like, to be fair, he has a wife and a child and like he wants to do right for them. But it seems like he cares more about his own personal well being than literally anything else.
He's such a coward.
Yeah.
Like, actively a coward. There is an option where you can call him a coward to his face, and part of me wanted to, but like the stronger part of me that is like, no, we don't need this right now. We don't need the fighting. We don't need infighting. I'm gonna reserve that in the back of my head and just be like, wow, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck all of these guys. You're all like messes. And even though Davith was like scared, he was still like, I'm scared, but we still have to do the thing.
Yeah, he's still trying. Like he's not letting his fear control him.
Yeah. Whereas Jory is just like constantly scared out of his mind. And I'm not scared out of his mind. Like, being scared of something does not make you a coward. It is the fact that he like he's ready to turn back. He's like, if serious soldiers like that get decimated, what about us? Like, what if we walk into the horde? And I don't know. It's just something about his attitude, and I'm just like, you're a coward, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't want you on my team.
Yeah. And it gets worse once we encounter the Witches of the Wild. We find the treaties at the end of the trail, and once we rescue them, we are confronted by an unknown magic.
You were wrong.
I am?
Yes. Take a drink. Take a drink, listener, for every time I tell Matt that he's wrong. We don't find the treaties. The treaties are gone.
Oh, right. They were gone. Right. We found the box that the treaties should be in.
Yes.
But they're gone.
We find Morrigan instead, who is like, the fuck you doing in my woods?
Yeah.
She gets very Shrek on us.
Yeah. She's.
What are you doing in my swamp?
And she tells us that they are no longer there. They took them, but you can follow her. She's happy to bring you to them. She speaks in this like faux nice tone that I think is very funny. Like she's being cordial, but you can hear behind her voice that she has no interest in being cordial. That her cordialness is at the behest of probably someone else.
How did your character interact with Morrigan?
Positively, kind of just openly. You know, I didn't really see any reason to be fearful of this person. Like, also I'm into goth chicks, you know.
Right.
But like in all seriousness, like I don't know, like from the very beginning, Alistair's like I don't know, and then of course Jory is like pooping himself. So like, but I was like, I don't know, she hasn't done anything. She didn't attack us. She just said, "Hey, numbnuts, what you're looking for isn't there. Come with me."
Like my character was also very like nice to her because like, why not? I am also a mage. I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
So like, hey, what's up, fellow mage? Can you help me? Can you tell me the answer to this puzzle? So like, I'm good. And then Davith and Jory are like, it's a witch.
Witch of the Wilds. They're real.
It's a witch of the wild. She's gonna put us in a pot. She's gonna turn us into frogs.
God, the toad talk. It's like, please stop.
Y'all, I wish she would.
Yeah, really. Like, that was my thought. Like, I wish you would turn you all into toads so you'd stop talking.
And then we meet Flemeth.
Yes.
Morgan's mother. We don't learn her name just yet, but that is her name. Her name is Flemeth. And Flemeth is so nice and is just like, here, I protected these for you because I am a nice person. And before you complain, your spell wore off a really long time ago. So, whatever.
Yeah, and I love that Alistair is like, why did you... Oh, you protected them? Like, he's so ready to get mad. And he's like, oh, wait, thank you, actually. That
Which
is
is
very
so
nice.
realistic. And this is another reason why I like Alistair. His responses are just so genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, yes, exactly. You
Yeah.
golden retriever man.
Of course, still Jory and Davin are like terrified out of their wits, and it's like they're just people. They speak in a little bit of riddle. So what? Who cares? Stop it. I mean, I as the player know they are not just people, and I
Right.
know who Flemeth is, but we'll get to that.
Right. Did you find the flower to
Yes,
help your dog friend? I also did.
I did. Although I forgot how bad the quest journal is in this game. Like it's awful. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't update well, and so like I actually left because when you find the box that the treaty should be in, you automatically go into this cutscene and then automatically go back to camp. Morgan takes you there, and so it's like, oh shit, I don't know if I got the herb, and then I looked in my quest log and it wasn't apparent, so I went back, and then after running around for a while and opening up the rest of the map, and I found some other stuff, so it was kind of worth it. I went, wait a minute. I opened it and said it said I did find it. I was like, son of a bitch. And so I went back. But like that's my biggest complaint so far about this game is that there's no quest tracker on screen, which is fine.
Yeah.
But the
map overall is just not good.
No, and then the quest journal's not good, and like waypoints, like markers on the map, only show up when you're in arm's reach of the quest. Until then, you don't really see it, and so that's just also really frustrating. It's side quests are very missable. There are no like question marks or exclamation points or anything. And I get that's all more modern stuff. And also this was meant to be in a similar way to Mass Effect, it was meant to feel more open and natural and not like, oh, here are quest givers all over. Click on the exclamation point. But like those kinds of things are helpful. And so that was a struggle.
Yeah. So we give the flower to the Kettle Master. And then maybe we'll see about getting a dog after the battle.
He says we should come back after the battle. And as the player, I went, but anyway.
Duncan gets real creepy from here on out.
Correct.
Like, extremely creepy. Like, I am not comfortable with the energy we've brought to the studio today.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yep.
We find out that fucking Jory has a wife and a kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a baby on the way. I'm like, why did you join the Wardens?
Why would you do that?
Why did you do this? And like, Davith is all in. He's like, I may be scared sometimes, but you know what? I'm in. We're gonna do it. And this is why I appreciate Davin and why I'm so sad when he drinks from the absurdly large goblet, by the way.
We should clarify, because we haven't said it yet, just in case people are only listening. The 3 vials of Darkspawn blood that we needed was so each of us could drink them.
Oh, yes.
Because apparently to become a Grey Warden, you have to be able to sense the Darkspawn. And the way we sense it is by consuming some of their taint. And that gives us
I hate that phrase.
So do I.
How dare you? How dare you bring that onto my Good Christian podcast?
And so we have to drink it because Alistair clarifies that it gives us this kind of sixth sense so we can tell when the Darkspawn are coming. It gives us the upper hand in battle. We know when we need to hide versus when we can attack, when the Horde is coming, when there's an Archdemon specifically, which is the massive dragon that leads them. And so after this explainer, you are then just expected to go, okay, and drink it. And
now drink the blood.
And so Davin is first. And you're right. The goblet is comically huge because we're still not great at creating proportional things. Or maybe it was meant to be comically huge. Who knows?
And like, they're like, not all who drink the blood will survive. I'm like, this seems risky.
Bad. This seems bad is what it seems.
Seems very bad.
And
this seems like this should be the out moment.
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to say no now.
Yeah. And so Davin, and we'll get to that. So Davin drinks of the goblet without really much hesitation at all.
Yeah, he's in.
He wants to be, but unfortunately it kills him. He struggles for a while and then dies. Duncan does acknowledge and say how, remarks on how it's sad that he didn't make it. And then he turns to Jory, who goes into full panic mode.
But like, understandably so.
Uh-huh.
Like, Jory's like, maybe I don't want to do this. I have a baby on the way. Like, this seems like a bad idea. And fucking Duncan draws his blade on the guy.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the only way.
I mean, well, apparently the Wardens, the reason that no one knows what the ritual is because people either die or become and don't talk about it. And so for someone to see the ritual and leave is not really an option.
I think it should be an option. I think it should be. Because I think that there's no reason to kill this man because he doesn't want to drink evil Magister juice.
as true as that may be, unfortunately not an option for Jory. And so Duncan impales him on his blade.
Fucking kills him. And I'm just like, why are my only options drink the evil Magister juice or be murdered?
Yeah. It's die from the Magister juice or die from a blade.
I feel like that's not fair to me.
I mean, we also are out of options at this point in our life, so, you know.
This is true. We have no other choice, so we have to do it. Which is bullshit.
Yes. And so we drink the evil Darkspawn blood and pass out. But it turns out when we wake up, we see Alistair and Duncan standing over us. We've survived the transformation process.
Yep. And now I'm a Grey Warden. And Jory was murdered. And, like, they were like, oh, 2 people died in your joining. I was like, Jory was murdered. He didn't die from the joining.
I mean,
he died. Need to be very explicit about this.
I mean, he didn't die as a result of the joining directly, but he did die during the joining. The joining was going on.
The joining did not kill him, though.
No, Duncan did.
It was all Duncan, which paints this man in a very different light for me, by the way. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm part of your cult now.
Alistair does seem genuinely sad, though, that folks died in his joining and have died in this one as well, because the Grey Wardens don't have huge numbers. And he seems to genuinely care about not only the Grey Wardens, but other people.
He's a soft boy.
He is a soft boy.
He is our new marshmallow. And then we receive a pendant with Darkspawn blood in it. Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah. Though it is helpful from a equipment stat perspective. But yeah, like, yay, carrying around a little thing of blood. That's not creepy.
I hate you and your evil, stupid blood cult.
Well, it's pretty soon you're going to be running it, but we'll get to that.
Stupid blood cult. And then we learn that the king has requested our presence at this war meeting. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, why us?
I have been a warden for like 2 minutes.
I think it's more specifically the Grey Wardens, but also apparently the king liked your chat, and like the king is kind of also...
He did not ask for Alistair.
No, that's
true.
He
did not ask for anyone else. He only asked for you. So you and Duncan show up at this meeting. No other Grey Wardens show up. Like, that makes no fucking sense to me.
I mean, it does, knowing the king. He's just kind of also a golden retriever and just wants to like have people he likes around him. And if he liked you in those 5 minutes, he invited you, you know? Like, I get that. It doesn't make sense for us to be there from a tactical perspective, but from the king having golden retriever energy, I kind of get it.
I still think it's like a very silly plot point, in my opinion. I mean, it's like, this is just so you can know what's going to happen.
Right. Also, there are a lot of silly plot points in the first game, but we'll get to that.
Wait, is Alistair at this meeting with you?
I thought it was all the Grey Wardens, but maybe I'm misremembering.
I think Alistair is at this meeting with you, but you were specially requested. I stand by that. So Logain is opposed to waiting for Elysian forces. There's this kind of power play happening between Logan and Kaelin, because Logain is the strategist. He's the one who comes up with the plans, and Kaelin is the one who like puts it into action. And Kaelin is, like, ready to be on the front lines, fighting with the Wardens, ready to do anything for glory, and Logain's like, Anyway.
We need to talk about Logain for a minute, because this dude looks like the classic Disney villain. Long black hair, rings around his eyes, pale skin. Like, he looks like a Disney villain. And, like...
He suck.
Yeah, and we are going to find out almost imminently that he does suck. But, like, looking at him, I was like, I don't trust this guy. Something's not right.
Trademark of every BioWare villain.
Pretty much, yeah.
The second you see him, you're like, no.
No. Yeah, Saren was the same. Like, dude's got robot stuff in his jaw. This guy is no good. Like, same with Logain. Although, I have to look it up by the next episode. Like, I recognize his voice actor. He's been someone in the Mass Effect series. I can't think of who. But like, yeah, the minute he starts talking, I'm like, oh, your voice, your look, you're a bad guy. This is bad news. Does anyone else know this guy's a bad guy? Because I know, and I really want to say something. That was my vibe about Logain.
I was looking it up because you said it. So I was like, I have to now.
That's why I paused to give a clean break.
Simon Templeman.
Okay.
Simon Templeman, who has been many people in BioWare. He was in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. He kind of looks like Logain. Oh, I take that back. No, he doesn't. Like, in the thumbnail that I saw for 2 seconds, it was like, oh, that kind of looks like Logan. But then I saw a close-up. I was like, nope, you're wrong. This man does not look like Logan. Oh, he's been in a lot of video games.
Yeah, he's a recurring video game voice actor.
Oh, you're gonna, like, slap yourself in the face when I say the names of the characters that he plays. Admiral Han Garel Vasnima.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dr. Gavin Archer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And Rael Zora.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the most recognizable of those is Archer, because Archer and Logan more or less have the same voice, the natural speaking voice. But yes, okay. So that's why I recognized him.
Yep. He also plays a bunch of other people. Who is also the voice of the Blue Suns advertisement, the Da Tan advertisement, the Education advertisement, Indenture Tech advertisement, and Lead Cores advertisement. Good job, Simon Templeman.
Yes, good job.
Thank you for being the voice of all of our advertisements in Mass Effect.
Exactly.
Anyway, Logain sucks.
Yeah, and so this war meeting is pretty much to tell us that the plan is to engage the forces on the ground with archery, Mabari, and then on foot, while we wait for the right moment to do a pincer attack from Logain's forces, and someone will have to light a beacon to show Logain when the time is right, and then him and his forces will swoop in to kind of pincer on the Darkspawn and take them out.
Pincer?
Sure. I know war tactics.
Flank?
Sure, that too. Pincer attack is a thing. A pincer attack is a thing.
I'll pinch you.
Please don't.
Can't stop me.
I mean, I can. You're over across an ocean or two.
Boarding a plane this afternoon, coming straight for you.
And so then after this, we talk with Duncan some more, and we find out that someone of the Grey Wardens will need to go light that tower, light the beacon.
Yeah, Caitlin decides that it can't be left to just anyone, so the Grey Wardens have to do it. And is it just me, or does Logan get, like, a little shot on his face where he's like, fine?
Yeah, like he doesn't seem happy with that choice.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder why, Logan. Are you unhappy? Are you displeased?
And so then Duncan, of course, Vaughn tells us that we have to do it, that me and Alistair's like, but I want to be in the action. And he's like, there'll be plenty of action, but this is an important job, and I need my best people to do it. We're your only people. Best people. Get out of here.
We're not the only people. We're just the only ones that we've met.
Right. Fair enough. And so then the next gig is for us to go to the tower. And of course, when we arrive at the tower, things have gone wrong.
My favorite, though, before we leave Duncan, is I want no heroics from either of you.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like,
yes, sir.
Yeah, Dad. It'll be fine. So yeah, the battle begins. We have to cross a bridge. And I always get knocked down at one specific part on the bridge.
Same. I think you're just designed to get knocked over.
That's so annoying.
It is very annoying.
Because I'm like zigging on him and zagging on him. And then boom, I'm down. And I'm just like, oh, beans.
You don't even take any damage either. You just get knocked over.
It just makes me mad.
But when we get across the bridge, we get to the tower. And of course, surprise, surprise.
The tower's been taken by Darkspawn.
The soldier that we encounter says that they must have come up through the rafters. We encounter a soldier and a mage who are leaving the tower.
Cellar.
Or the cellar, whatever. Rafters are up. Yeah, the rafters are up. Cellar is down. Look, it's early here in the U.S., okay?
The difference between stalagmites and stalactites?
Pretty much, yes. But he tells us that they've come in through the basement probably, and they weren't supposed to be here, and that they need help. And so now this mage and this soldier conveniently join us to take on.
Oh, I got 2 soldiers.
Oh, really? I didn't.
For me.
Oh,
because I am the mage.
Because you are the mage. Interesting.
I am the mage, baby.
I wonder if you're.
Put that on a shirt.
I wonder if when I was a warrior, if I got a rogue and a mage. Interesting. I didn't know that could change up. But anyway, they join you and you go fight your way through the tower. More of the same combat we've seen already. The battles are pretty high action. And, as we cut our way through the tower, all the way to the top, where we encounter a giant ogre who is not too pleased that we've arrived.
And this whole time, I'm just still angry that I have insufficient skill to open fucking chests.
Yeah. Oh, the whole time it's like, oh, what's in this chest? Oh, here's a thing.
I'm so mad.
I should start just writing down in my notes the stuff I've looted from locked chests.
So I can be angry at you?
Yeah.
Increasingly?
I mean, I know I got a ton of injury kits, which I needed
Yeah.
anyway. So, because Alistair went down a couple times.
Makes me so mad. Though Alistair took charge.
He's a good tank. Yeah.
Like, as we approached, he was like, we have to do something about that. I'm like, you're right, we do.
Yeah. Good job.
I'm going to listen to you.
And so,
because you're technically my boss right now.
Yes, that's true. And so, as I said, when we get to the top of the tower, we encounter an ogre who is none too pleased that we've arrived, and then we have to fight him. And this fight, like, not too challenging. I am playing on easy, but like, there is still some challenge on easy. And what was funny about this is, like in just about any other RPG, the rogue crit's too high. The taunt from the tank doesn't mean much because the enemy wants you. And I was on the other side of the tower room, and I plinked him with an arrow and crit, and on a dime, the ogre turns and starts coming after me.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, Dirty Tricks affects bosses, and so I was able to use, at least this one, and so I was able to use it, which stunned him, and I ran away, and all in all, the day was saved. And then we light the beacon lights, and then we get a cutscene of Loghain telling his second in command to retreat, ignoring the beacon.
Did one of your characters, did you get the like big dramatic flourish to kill the ogre?
No.
He just fell down. One of my NPCs got the flourish, and I was like kind of salty about it.
I mean, I don't know if you can get a flourish from a ranged attack. I think it's only like the melee combat.
One.
Yeah.
I demand one.
I mean, they are in, I think Inquisition has them. But yeah, there was no killing blow like dramatic moment for me.
Anyway, beacon.
Yes.
Lit. Wardens. Betrayed.
Yeah, Loghain says no. And what's really cool, at least, is like Loghain is clearly the mastermind, because even his second in command was like, really? Like, we're not okay? And like reluctantly sends the troops away, but like kind of pushed back on it a little bit, which is interesting.
Why does he do this? There is absolutely nothing in his logic that holds up.
I mean, we don't know his reasoning, but he clearly hates the king. I mean, that's my gather.
I don't think he hates the king. I don't know. I just think that this is a wild move to make to begin with. And his obsession with, like, Ferelden's the best, make Ferelden great again, it's just so fucked up, because he sacrifices so many lives just to, like, prove himself right. And I'm just like, that is terrible strategy. That is bad strategy. You're supposed to be the strategist.
Yeah. And like when we get to the part after this, we get to like, we ask all those questions of each other and we don't have answers. But so an important note is that after, either right before or after this cutscene, you also are still fighting in the tower. Like, we kill the ogre, but the battle doesn't stop. There's more Darkspawn coming, and you get fatally wounded.
We also watch what happens on the battlefield.
Yeah.
We see Kaelin die in a really horrific way. We see Duncan can't even stop it. And we watch the end of the Wardens.
We watch King Kaelin get killed, and then Duncan get mortally wounded, but still continue to fight, felling an ogre, and then collapsing pretty much on top of King Kaelin, and then it cuts away. And then we are also fatally wounded in the tower, and everything goes white. We die, but then we don't.
We don't. We wake up in a hut, being taken care of by Morgan. And I don't know about you, but my character's underwear is cute.
I was completely naked, as far as I can tell. I mean, I couldn't see below my waist, so but it looked like I was bare ass.
My character had a really cute bra on.
I don't know why
it was strapless.
Don't know why we were
had
undressed.
Like a little black lace on it.
Okay,
it was cute. It's real cute. It's just, I feel like that's an important detail.
Look,
like, let's talk about how cute our underwear is.
If I could see mine, I would have, but I never got to see it.
Morgan is actually really soft here.
Yeah.
Like, she's telling you this horrific news, and I think, like, she realizes, I can't be as much of an asshole as I'd like to be, because, like, I'm just telling you literally everyone you counted on is dead.
Yep.
So, I'm sorry.
Yep. She informs you that apparently Loghain, the backup you were anticipating ignored your signal, and everyone died. And if Flemeth and her had not gotten to you in time, you and Alistair would also be dead.
Yeah.
Because even the soldiers you were fighting within the tower died.
Sucks so much.
And then she says that she's going to put on some stew, and that when you were awake, Alistair wanted to see you. He is very distraught, and you should go see your friend.
Understandably.
Right.
His father figure is dead.
Creepy father figure.
Creepy father figure. Yeah. Sucks, man. I felt so bad. Like, these are people that he considered his family.
Yeah.
And he's so upset. And he's distracted by wanting justice.
Yeah.
For all the lives lost. Like, he wants to bring Loghain to justice, not necessarily focus on stopping the Blight. So, which I understand. I am also fired up and would like Loghain to, like, stand for what he's done. But also, like, there is a bigger issue going on, and we can't lose sight of it.
Yeah, and Flemeth backed that up. Alistair does make a comment about Flemeth saving us, but just talking about her like she's not there. And she's like, I have a name. I'm here. I have a name. And she tells you her name is Flemeth, and that while you may want revenge, your duty as Grey Wardens is to unite the world against the Darkspawn and stop the Blight, which kind of also reinvigorates Alistair. He's like, that's right. We have the treaties. We can bring these people together and actually defeat the Darkspawn. And so it makes your mission clear that while you want revenge for what happened, the play now is to possibly unite the kingdom, starting with Arl Eamon, who Alistair knows in Redcliffe, who wants to help and had wanted to help and hadn't sent any soldiers anywhere yet, was kind of trying to protect Redcliffe first. And so you could go there because there is an army waiting and they may be able to help, and is on the path to then uniting the rest of the kingdoms to fight against the Darkspawn.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out what order we're doing all this stuff.
Right, but that's for 2 episodes from now, not next.
2 episodes from now. That's future Frankie and Matt's problem.
Correct. But yeah, and so this is where we stopped. We're given an opportunity to save here before we head out. Oh, but before we do head out, Flemeth then also says, by the way, take my daughter, please. Oh, yeah. Flemeth has wanted Morgan to get out of the wilds for a long time and insists that you take her with you as payment for saving your life. And Alistair puts up a bit of a hubbub, but you can remind him that any ally is a good ally. She may be an apostate, but we need all the help we can get. And it is in the Grey Warden's nature to take help from those who want to be a part of the cause. And he acquiesces, even though he's still not fond of Morgan, and that only grows. But we'll get to that. But then Morgan also is like, do I not get a say in this? Do I just have to go?
No, sorry, baby.
Yeah, your mom said so, and you respect your mom, so here we go.
I would like to make it clear, you don't have to respect your mom, listener.
That's true.
If your mom sucks, you don't have to respect her. But if your mom is nice, then you should.
And I mean, in all intents and purposes, though, Flemeth does seem nice here, so.
It's nice to us, anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, more on that later.
That's the important part.
But yeah, and then after Morgan joins us, we are now a party of 3, and we are ready to head out of the wilds and on to our next adventure.
We just need 2 more.
Yeah. So we can be a party of 5.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The ideal party.
Right. Even though I think in this game you can only have 4 party members.
Yeah,
right? 3
that
plus
is
you.
Accurate.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe we'll discover another
They
party
hadn't
member.
heard of Party of 5 yet.
Right, exactly.
They
didn't know. I think the show was out before this game was, but who knows? Anyway, so yeah, before we move, that's it for this episode. So that's where we're stopping. We will pick up on our way to Lothering. But before we get into that, we have an email. We got an email between episodes from a listener, and I wanted to read that before we moved on. This is from Thalia. I hope I said your name correctly. I believe that's correct. Hi, Frankie. Hi, Matt. Love the show. Long-time listener, first-time commenter, and correspondent. Well, thank you for reaching out to us. I've been meaning to get into Dragon Age for a while now, but with my ADHD, I have trouble getting into new things, and not having anybody to either body double or talk about it really does bother me sometimes. I get that. We've all been there. We're all neurodivergent here. You're in good company. I'm really glad to be joining you guys for the journey. We'll hopefully be able to play through the franchise with you. Now I just need to pick an origin. Good luck with that. Looking forward to chaos and shenanigans.
For those playing at home, I suggest you pick an origin different from ours.
Yes. There are quite a few, and that way at least you can see a different part of the game than we've seen and then write in about it.
Yes, tell us about it. Tell us how you feel about it. Tell us about your great betrayal and how you get roped into a creepy blood cult.
Yes, and if you send those into us via email or Twitter, we will read them on the show, of course. But thank you, Thalia, for sending this in. We love hearing from our listeners. Cool to hear that you're a longtime listener. We love that folks have been on this ride and are excited to jump into a new franchise with us and aren't just like, wow, no more Mass Effect, because that would be legit if you have no interest in Dragon Age. But we're excited to have you along for the ride, and thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thanks, Thalia. And just reach out to us whenever you want. If you want to gush about things, just tweet at us.
Yeah.
We are so happy to just be like, fuck yeah. And just to be completely on your side.
Yes. We don't read lengthy emails. We don't necessarily always read every word, but we do read every email that comes in. We may not read every one of them on the show. We definitely do read everything that comes in, every review that comes in. We will read every review that comes in, and we'll get to that in a minute. But as I said, next episode, we'll head to Lothering. We may encounter some stuff on the way to Lothering. Who knows? And we may get some new party members.
Nah.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Just go roll right through Lothering and not do anything.
Yeah. Why would we talk to people?
This place looks like a dump. I'm out. Anyway, if you like what you heard here, follow us on social media. We're at ReignitePod on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/reignitepod, or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at FrankieBWrites and Matt at DJ_Stormageddon. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher if you can. It helps us get seen so other people can find us.
On that, please do rate and review us on your podcast platform of choice. You can feel free to send us a screenshot as well once you've written the review, in case you're afraid we may not see it. Every review that we get, we read on the show. Thank you for those who have submitted. We got some at the end of last year, like from Real Dave Jackson, which I believe we read when we got them. But if you want to be like one incredible Real Dave Jackson, please rate and review us. It helps us grow this community, as Frankie said, and get more folks to listen to the show. We're also members of the Certain Point of View podcast network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server on the website and join in the conversation. We have updated our Mass Effect chat to a BioWare chat. I've shared screenshots of my new handsome baby-faced dwarf. Please share screenshots of your characters, the action, if you started playing the game. We love seeing that in the screenshots channel, and we love talking about our different experiences with these unique RPGs, so please chat with us there.
As for personal plugs, I still have nothing. I have my initial assessment coming up, meaning that I have to prove that I have been doing work on my PhD this whole time, so good vibes only.
Please send Frankie all your good vibes.
Please.
We love to
I
see
need them.
For those listening, as of when this comes out, we are just weeks away from PAX East in Boston from the 23rd to the 26th. And I will be there again. I will be the only one from Certain POV there this year because one is overseas and the other one had a prior commitment. But repping our network and my podcasts, I will be there in full force at two panels. One of which is the Ultimate Video Game Music Showdown, which is on Saturday, March 25th at 6 p.m. in the Dragonfly Theater. That is hosted by Luke Lewis, and I will be joining the likes of Jacob McCourt, Cameron Hawkins, Celia Schilling, and, of course, Alex Van Aken on a discussion about incredible video game music. That is also going to be streamed on Twitch. And then I believe on Friday, the day before, I will be on a panel called The Nintendo GameCube Was the Greatest Game Console Ever Made. And you bet your ass I will be defending Skies of Arcadia, as well as many other awesome games. That also will be with Jacob McCourt and Cam Hawkins. It's hosted by Jacob. And then also Janet Garcia, Mike Towndrow, and Asa Green River. That is Friday, March 24th at 12 p.m. right in the afternoon, also in the Dragonfly Theater. And that also will be streamed on Twitch. So even if you can't make it to PAX, you can see both my panels. I am going to see about getting the audio from the panels to use as bonus episodes either for this show or for more likely Fun and Games. So please check that all out. And if you see me at PAX East, please come say hi. I want to chat with y'all. And last but not least, of course, I'm still pushing the incredible new Patreon from Fun and Games. If you want to support me and specifically that video game podcast or just show support in any way, again, that helps. It's patreon.com/funandgamespod. We'd love to see you there.
Just a side note, I brought my Wii here when I went home over Christmas. I brought it back with me.
Uh-huh.
and I don't have an adapter for it. So it's just been sitting, and one of my PhD friends is loaning me an adapter, so I will be able to play Skies of Arcadia again, because as you know, the disc that I have freezes when I try to play it on the GameCube, and I can only play it on the Wii.
Correct.
Because the universe absolutely despises me. And soon I'll be able to replay Skies of Arcadia, and I will write probably a paper about how it's about decolonization before the word entered the zeitgeist.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm hoping that now that we just got Game Boy and Game Boy Advance on Nintendo Switch Online, that next we'll get GameCube, because that's the next console, because N64. I'd love some stellar RPGs. A different RPG also is getting a remaster, Baten Kaitos, which was on the GameCube as well. And so I'm hoping, since Baten Kaitos is getting some love, Metroid Prime got remastered, that maybe we'll see a remaster of Skies of Arcadia sometime soon, if Sega actually loves us. Anyway. With all of that out of the way, we'd also like to thank Carter's husband for developing more amazing t-shirt designs that you can find through certainpov.com or on Teespring. They're all Mass Effect designs for now, but I'm willing to bet that we'll have some Reignite related Dragon Age stuff thrown up there soon. Case is pretty prolific with that stuff, and thank you.
We'd like to thank Reddick Wade and Echoes of Oblivion for our theme music.
We'd also like to thank the incredible Red Spinks, not only for designing t-shirt designs for us in the past, but also for our upcoming brand new logo that may or may not be on all our feeds by the time you're listening to this. But we're excited to share it with you, and we're so grateful to Red for creating it. You can get your very own shirt with our brand new logo at Redbubble or Teespring, and also to see more of Red's incredible work, you can follow at Chaos Does Art on Instagram. We're so excited to share this new logo with you. We just saw what is probably the final draft today, and it looks incredible.
It looks so good. Anyway, I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt, aka Stormageddon. And remember, Grey Wardens.
In war, victory.
In peace, vigilance.
In death, sacrifice. Okay, bye!
Video games are a unique medium.
They can tell stories,
Immerse us in strange, fantastic worlds.
blur the very boundaries of our reality.
But at the end of the day, video games are fun. Whatever fun is to you.
I'm Jeff Moonen,
And I am Matt, aka Stormageddon.
and on Fun and Games, we talk about the history, trends, and community of video games.
It's a celebration of all the games we play and all the fun we find within them.
And there's so many more games out there, so we hope you'll share in that conversation with us.
Fun and Games podcast with Matt and Jeff. Find us on certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
And happy gaming.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.